but it certainly is not warm in this building. We were all just talking about... Hey friends, welcome. It's Lisa Mason Ziegler with the Gardener's Workshop, and look at these beautiful babies. This is eucalyptus that was bumped up last week, and guess what? This week show, I am sharing my tips for warm season seed starting. So stay tuned for the 411 on all of that. I am going to be demonstrating sowing zinnia seeds in the small blocker, which is such a frequent question that we get. Yes, that's really how I do it. And then I've got some warm season annuals to show you that I've started. And then, you know, we're always doing a live drawing for something to give away, y'all, and I can't wait to do that. And remember that at the end of the show, I always do a little Q&A. So if you have a question you'd like for me to answer, use the @Lisa and then type your question in, and the team will gather up all of those and pick a couple for me to answer at the end of the show. And friends, we are so grateful how you guys are inviting people all the time. We have so many new people join us each week, and you can actually do that by hitting that share button down at the bottom of your screen and invite your friends. You can text it to a friend, post it on your social media that you're here, and we would love for you to do that, and we're really grateful when you do that. Word of mouth is the best way, y'all.
And Kathy said it's their favorite time of the week.
Aw, thanks, girls. That is really, really nice. So before we jump into the show, and are y'all seeing I have a little flower here to show you in a minute. Before we jump into the show, I want to remind you, or maybe tell you for the first time, that today is the last day to enroll in my Flower Farming School online, The Basics, and get the invite to come to the Flower Farmer Fast Track series. That is the bonus that comes for enrolling this week. And friends, think of it like it's like a quick start guide. It's like the Cliff Notes to the course. We're going to have 7 weekly meetups where I'm going to be doing this fast track training. I'm teasing out the important steps. Like if I was starting a business today, these are the 5 things that I would do for this class today to get started, so that you don't feel like you have to dive into that entire course. So you like have the quick steps and you have the course to back you up for the deeper dive when you need that, right? So that expires tonight at midnight. You can go to thegardenersworkshop.com and enroll. And if you happen to be one of my existing basic students, you can attend too. You can check your email. You'll be getting all of the links. And so at the top, at thegardenersworkshop.com, at the top of every page, there's a yellow gold banner, and that's where that is. And friends, I feel like I finally have made something that you guys have been asking for. It's like the quick start, the quick steps. That's why we named it the Fast Track, and I hope to see you in Flower Farming School. And so a little bit of housekeeping before we jump in. Remember, if you have an account set up here or you set one up in the app, please double check your phone number and your email address for typos. It happens all the time, and we can't ship to you if we don't have a complete good address. So remember that here inside the app, all orders that are seed packet only orders ship for free. We cover the shipping on those. And so we're happy to do that. And remember that if you order any of the products, there's a cap on that shipping. It's $9.95. It doesn't matter how many products you purchase. And we ship to all 50 of the United States, and we're really happy for that. Now, if you're joining us from social media, first off, welcome. We are so glad that you found us and that you're here. But what I want you to know is that we have a phone app. And why would you want to get the phone app? There are so many more functions, y'all. It's free. You can actually go to your phone's app store. It takes about 30 seconds. Go to your phone's app store, search Gardener's Workshop, and then download the shop app, and then pop right back over here, because when you're on the inside, you can participate in the giveaway. You can communicate with the other viewers. You can watch replays of previous shows. You can shop and comment, and it's just a lot of fun. So just know that that is there, ready and available for you anytime you would like to actually get it. Now, we frequently sell out of products that I talk about during the show. So if you go to put something in your cart and it says, sorry, out of stock, get notified, you might want to select get notified. That just puts you on a list to get a little notification when we put that product back in stock, because sometimes they're bringing stock over from our big website. They don't talk to each other, y'all, the app and the website. So that's the reason you might want to do that, especially if it's something that's on sale. And friends, if you see people posting the sunflower emoji, you can see it here on my logo. Those are people identifying themselves as our family. Those are all of our online course students and the members of my private club. And we love it when those people give us a shout out saying, hey, I'm here. So we love it when we see all of those sunflowers. Now, you know that I give away something every week, and this week is no different. I am giving away a $25 store credit this week. Once again, y'all have proven that this is the favorite giveaway, right? So to be entered, you just hit the button that Susie has put up, and that'll put you on the list, and we will pull this at the end of the show. You have to be present to claim it, and I hope that you're the winner, because that is really a great opportunity. Nothing better than going to check out and you got a $25 credit, right? So we have a little special going on right now on our Quick Dip. So I'm going to tell you how I use this. But the reason we have it on this great deal is that they are marked that the expiration date is May of 2025. However, our manufacturer assures us that it's good for at least 2 years after the expiration date. But we have more coming, so we're ready to kick this batch out of here. We have them 60% off, y'all. They're regularly $17.95, and you're going to save $10.77. And I'm just going to show you very briefly how I use Quick Dip in 2 ways. One, if you ever have flowers that are wilty or you just can't get them to hydrate, we put just a little bit of just a very shallow, wider dish of the straight hydrator. And then literally, I thought I'd cut some of my Lenten roses. They're not drooping, but what would happen is I literally would just dip the stems into that fluid for about 15 seconds. You just hold it there and then you pull it out. What that does is it dilates and opens the veins in the stem. And what you'll find is usually the next morning when you come out, when you drop these back in the water, that all of your heads are back up and everything is hydrated, and it works fabulous. But I'm going to tell you something else that I do. I actually, and this is not on the instructions, I learned this from a 50-year veteran arranger. She puts about 2 tablespoons of this in harvest buckets for those wilty crops. If you have a crop that you just always seem to have struggle with, she puts this in, so the first drink the stem gets is this. So get this while supplies actually last, and I'll just show you this. Many of you know that we grow a lot of Lenten roses here. It's a great cut. And I wanted to show you, this is the stage we begin cutting. If you can see that the little seed pods are actually beginning to develop, that happens after this stage where all those little sepals are still, all those little florets are still in there. You wait for that to drop and for those seed pods to actually start to develop, and Lenten roses will last weeks in a vase. Better put that somewhere where I don't break it. Thank you. All right, so let's head straight into my books. And so the Cut Flower Handbook, and this is a hardback 224-page book, and y'all, it is a powerful resource. And I wanted to actually read you a paragraph. This book, my goal with this book was for you to figure out exactly when you plant warm season tender annuals and cool season tender annuals. And this book really takes you through the steps to do that. But the warm season is so much clearer than the cool is, right? The cool has several pages that you need to go through and find your dates and fill it in, and then that guides you. But for warm, I'm just going to read you a paragraph straight out of the book. What a pretty picture, right? Warm season tender annuals thrive when planted and grown in warm to hot conditions. Begin planting transplants outdoors in the garden once the last expected frost date has passed. The soil has begun to warm and we are heading into summer-like conditions. The weather signal I wait for to begin transplanting outdoors is the moment when nighttime, saying it again, nighttime air temperatures reach 60 degrees Fahrenheit or above, with soil temperatures at a minimum of 60 degrees. I find that the nighttime temperatures are my best indicator. And so that's right here in the Cut Flower Handbook. It guides you through when and what to plant. I would love to sign a copy for you. And when you get it from us, it comes with the bonus PDF download, the flowers that didn't make the book. So totally, look at these beautiful images, y'all. These are all our flowers, right? Okay. So my other book, Vegetables Love Flowers, this book is really about how, it's not about growing vegetables, y'all. It's about growing a little cutting garden in your vegetable patch and how it actually benefits your vegetables to be in the presence of flowers for all of what they actually attract. And I'm also going to read you a paragraph here because sometimes it's more than the flowers that you're growing in your actual garden. So look at this. That's our golden berry with the flower crown on, and this is growing a healthy garden. The permanent plantings that surround the gardens have proven to be a huge benefit to the overall health of my gardens. A few years ago, I planted a 12,000 square foot native tree, shrub, and perennial border. This hedgerow is now home to a beneficial community of creatures here on the farm that native border helps them to stay put. Y'all, that's the secret to my success. This book really offers my way of gardening and farming. So I would love to sign one for you. And this actually comes with a video book study. So that's really a lot of fun. And then, of course, the book that started it all, right? Cool Flowers. So this is the book that I wrote after all my years of growing cool flowers. It's written for the home gardeners, totally applicable to flower farmers, but this is the bare basics of how the concept works. Now, this book also comes with a video book study, and I forgot what I was, so this is a great section. It's called Popping the Question. Steve and I hadn't been dating long when I popped the question, may I do a little gardening at your place? I just couldn't resist all that sunshine. I could grow, well, I wasn't even sure what I could grow yet. But I was ready to try. He happily replied, yes. So this book really tells my journey of meeting Steve and how we came together, as well as gardening was a big part of it. I would love to sign a copy of Cool Flowers for you. All right, so, you know, I created many years ago, we call them seed collections, and I put together the seeds that really are the workhorses of our garden, super easy, right? And that just are productive. So the first one up is the Cut Flower Seed Collection. Y'all, these are the workhorses of our farm. And they still are, 27 years in, right? So you get 6 individual packs of seeds. It includes the lime green zinnia, the Benary's giant mix, the Oklahoma mix, which is the small zinnias, the sunflowers, the basil mix, which is lemon and cinnamon, and of course, coxcomb friends. All the collections offer up a little diagram that you can follow and my additional instructions inside. How much are these? They are $22.95, and that is a discount savings of $6 to $12, right? Because you're buying them all together. So this is a great gift. This is a great way to get your feet wet in growing a cut flower garden. We have one customer that's been buying this collection every single year since we've offered it like 15 years ago. She says it's just easy. Just simpler to do it that way, right? So, and it's a savings. So that is the cut flower garden. Yep, I'm telling you, I know. I mean, it's just pretty simple. And then we have the Planted Pink Warm Season collection. And this is in honor of breast cancer. I don't know if y'all know that I am a breast cancer survivor from '06. And this also comes with a diagram. It has 2 of the giant Benaries in the pink and carmine. It has the pink Cosmo, a mix of Celosia plumes that have great pinks in it, as well as that hot pink coxcomb and Miss Burns lemon basil. Y'all, this is a really great way to honor, respect, and talk about breast cancer, is having a little pink garden and then giving pink bouquets, right? What a way to spread love. And then this is really a favorite. This is our sunflower seed collection. So all of these gardens, I'm sorry I didn't say, are a 3x10. That's what the plan is for. This is like the size of a picnic table, right? So the sunflower collection also has a suggested diagram. All of these, I think all but one maybe, are black oil sunflower seeds, which means you can cut them or you can leave them in your garden and the finches will flock. This includes 6 individual packs. I mean, my 2 favorites, this is the white light and then also the green centered sunbeam, I think they call that, or sun-rich gold. So this is really a lot of fun. Kids really love growing this one. And this one is also $22.95. So the seed collections are just a really simple way to get started. And so let's talk about getting started. So first off, I want to offer the words of encouragement to resist the urge to plant too soon. You know, I just read from the book, right? You're looking at nighttime temperatures at 60 degrees or above for at least the next 2 weeks, right? Don't plant in a fluke, because warm season plants that are started too early will not be very happy and they will not thrive. And no matter where you are, your planting dates depend on your last spring frost date, right? Don't follow the leader. Don't do what other people are doing unless they live in your town. And it's all based on your frost dates, not your winter hardiness zone. And if you don't know when your frost date, your last historic frost date is, you can put it in a search engine, put your zip code, and then put last spring frost date. And that's going to bring up, just go to the most reliable resource, which is usually a .edu, which is like a university, or a .org, that's like botanical gardens, or like the Farmer's Almanac, or something that you know it's a reliable source, and that will fix you up. So we plant warm season seedlings outside after the last spring frost date, unless you take special steps to keep them warm, which means building the beds early with black covering on them to heat the soil a little bit, and then using hoops and row covers. So don't even think, there's no reason to plant warm season plants outside into chilly conditions. That makes them more predisposed to disease and stress and pests and all kinds of issues, right? And we don't direct sow any seeds in spring and summer because our weed pressure, we just don't have near as much success. So we don't even do that at this time of the year. So how long does it take to grow a warm season transplant, right? But let me tell you what it depends on. What are you growing? What the difference between growing, I mean, for instance, eucalyptus is a great example. Eucalyptus takes 12 to 16 weeks to get a plant this big. How long does it take to get a zinnia this big? 2 weeks. So it really depends on what you're growing. So you have to know for what it is you're actually growing. And if the growing conditions are ideal, warm season stuff needs warm conditions, a warmer air temperature, everything warm and hot, right? That's what encourages them to come off. And just remember that you have to allow time to harden off warm season tender annuals. They definitely need to be hardened off. That's the process of moving them outside and getting them acclimated to wind and sun. And for warm season stuff, I typically do that for 10 to 14 days. So be sure you allow enough time to do that. So now I want to make some small soil blocks, and then then I'm gonna sow zinnias in them so I can show you how to do it. All right, so let's bring this up just a little bit closer. And so this is the small blocker. And the blocking mix that's in here is our ready-made mix. And it's been moistened. And the ratio is 3 parts of your mix to 1 part water. So it's really a lot wetter than what you would, what most people are accustomed to in other methods. You hold the blocker by the stationary bar. I push it down a couple of times into the mix. And then I use a potato masher, y'all. It is the best tool for mixing your soil and adding the water and then striking off the bottom. All right, let's move this back and I'll plunge them out closer to you guys. And so you know that we use flat bottom trays with no, go ahead, Kelly. Flat bottom trays with no drainage holes. Let's just do this. Well, that's probably not as good. And so you just pull the plunger and you just made 20 containers, y'all. Literally, you just made 20 containers that quick. And so I'll put this. So people often ask, you know, seeds like marigolds, zinnias, and cosmos that are those long, skinny, they can't imagine that you actually put them in here. Y'all, I have started hundreds of thousands of zinnias in the small block throughout my flower farming career. And as long as you time it right, they do fabulous. So I've chosen some of our coated seeds. That's just a clay matter that makes it easier for handling and machinery when they're counting the seeds out. And so we just dump a few in our hand and you just pick one up, and I pick the pointy end first. That didn't help, did it? So I am just literally pointy end in, and then I just push it, and the tail is still sticking up. Can y'all see that? Just pushing it in, and that's planting it. See, zinnias seeds say it needs to be covered for it to germinate. Well, the covering part happens by you pushing it down inside the block.
If comments are in your way to see this, you can swipe them left or right.
Yeah, so Kelly, why don't you hold it right there if you can. And so you just pick up a seed and literally just push it into the block. And that's it, y'all. You're still going to see the tail. That's why I picked these that have the coating so you can actually see that. And that literally is planting zinnia seeds. And funny enough, there you go. And if you could put your finger on this soil, you'd be so surprised as I am over how cold that soil is, which is going to lead us to something I'm sure I'm going to talk about at some point in time. So that is how we plant zinnias in soil blocks. Now here's the key piece, y'all. Zinnias grow quick, so you're only starting zinnias 2 to 3 weeks before it's time for you to plant them out. So if your last frost date, mine is April 15th, I wouldn't be planting zinnias until the week after that at the very earliest, right? So you count back 3 weeks, and that's when you start your zinnias. So often people start way, way too early. And when you follow that 2 to 3 week plant out date for zinnias, for instance, they are healthy, gorgeous seedlings, and they really, really do great. So let me show you some of the seedlings that I didn't show you yet. So we already looked at, this is the eucalyptus that we bumped up, right? Look how beautiful they are. They're going to grow on. These will take 12 to 16 weeks to get a nice size, hardy little seedling, right? So that's just a great example versus that zinnia, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, these are sunflowers that we actually started in the 2-inch block last week. And I'll tell you, these are not very happy. And why is that? Because my grow room's not in warm season mode yet, meaning it's not as hot in there. But you can see they're coming along and they're really pretty. And then look at these. This is basil. That's 20 of those little blocks like you just saw me make. And these are about a week old. And this is, y'all, if you haven't ever just started basil, oh my goodness, this is the cinnamon. It smells so absolutely amazing. So this is 20 blocks in this small 5.5-inch square tray. They will grow in this block until they go to the garden. For me, basil takes 4 to 6 weeks to get to that 3 to 5 inch size. So those are some of our beautiful seedlings. Now, that brings us to the deal of the day, y'all. And that is our soil block maker kit. This is our customer favorite for the last 15 years. And it is 20% off. So this little kit comes with the small blocker. This is the size blocker that I use 95% of the time. The only time I use the larger blocker is when I bump up, which I rarely do that with the exception of eucalyptus. And when the seed is too big, like sunflowers, that's when you use the bigger blocker. This is the most space sufficient and the best use of your soil and your heat mat space. So it comes with a small blocker. Comes with 5 of the trays that hold 3 sets of 20. Again, flat bottom trays with no drainage holes, and these are reusable foam trays. These are not meant to be disposable. It also comes with the seed pan. I use these little wooden stakes as my tools to handle soil blocks. It comes with the toothpicks, and it also comes with my course, Seed Starting Made Easy. This is a course that'll take you from beginning to end on soil blocking. It also has a section on direct sowing out in the garden, as well as using the commercial Swift blocker and sowing sunflowers in plug trays. So this is included. It also comes with 3 packs of seeds, and you select either the warm season or you can select cool season. You would make that selection as you're checking out. And it also comes with our ready-made mix. You don't need to add anything to it to get your seed started. This little bag makes about 600 of those small blocks. You get the whole kit for $71.96, y'all. That is pretty dadgum amazing. That's a savings of $17.99. And it's just a customer favorite for that very reason. It just gets you started soil blocking, right?
So the kit's already a discount? And
Right.
you get an extra discount.
Yeah, so what Susie's pointing out is that the kit is already discounted a little bit because we made it a kit, right? And bumped some of the price off. Now that's 20% off. So it's a huge savings. It's a great way to actually get started. Now, this is that larger blocker I was telling you about. This is the 2-inch blocker. It makes 4 2-inch blocks. And it comes with these white nipples you pop in to make an indentation in the top of the block to receive, like those sunflowers that we just looked at, to receive that seed. You can also bump up into it. And does this come with the inserts are separate. So I'll show you the inserts for bumping up, but this is what I use for big seeds and for bumping up the eucalyptus. So this is $46.95, and then once you have the 2 tools, you're set to go. And if you want to bump up like I did that eucalyptus, you can purchase these little inserts separately. So you just pop them in, and it makes a perfect hole in the top of the 2-inch block to receive that little 3/4 inch block, right? So these are $9.95, and you can purchase those separately here inside the app. Now this is our make your own blocking mix. This is $58.95, and what's included in here is this is the cocoa fiber block, which that's how it looks. See how little it is there? You add water and it grows to over 2 gallons of soil. It's really, kids love doing it. It happens quick, like in 20 or 30 minutes, it poofs up and you have all that stuff. This is the nutrient mix. This is half green sand and half rock phosphate powder, and it has the recipe for the mix right on the front. This is the compost that you add into the recipe. And friends, we recommend sifting all seed starting mixes, whether it's our ready-made mix and all the components that are going to go into your recipe. This sifter is a 1/4 inch sifter, and it fits on the top of a 5-gallon bucket. That makes it super convenient. You can do it anywhere, and it's not quite so messy. You get all of this for $58.95, as well as, don't forget the cocoa fiber. Now you can purchase all of these components separately. It's heavy, y'all, except for the cocoa brick. You'll find more of those over on our big website. So this is $59.95, sorry, regular $62.80 when you purchase separately. So it just sets you up to make your own starter blocking mix, right? So these are those foam trays I was telling you about. These are not meant to be disposable. They are reusable for years. We love the little mini. This holds one set of 20 of the 3/4 inch block. A 5-pack is $1.95, but a 25-pack is $6.95. This is what I start. Typically stuff like tomatoes and peppers, those things that I don't need volume of, right? And so like hairy balls, that's what we start in here. Stuff and like mahogany splendor hibiscus, stuff that we just don't do tons and tons because they're so productive, right? So that's the 5-inch. This is the small one. This holds 2 sets of 20 or 2 sets of 4. Does that tell you right there why you should always use the small blocker if it'll work? And so this is 2 sets of 4. And so this is a 5-pack for $2.95, a 25-pack for $12.95. Now, this is the one that comes in the kit. This is the large. It holds 3 sets of 20. It's $3.95, and a 25-pack is $15.95. And y'all, these will last forever. I mean, we use them over and over and over, season over season. So I wanted to show you a little hack that we use here so y'all know that I absolutely love our garden marker. This is made to resist UV rays and moisture outside. It truly holds, literally, sometimes for seasons, right? But let me show you how we mark our trays. It's masking tape, y'all. Who knew it could be so simple? We use masking tape, literally put it right on our tray and use this to identify. And then either you can put tape on top of it or you can rip the old off. This lasts for seasons if it needed to. So that is the masking tape hack. And the waterproof pen is $6.95 and you will not be sorry. You'll love them. We have them all over here. And unlike those pens that aren't made for outdoors, that just vanish one day, you go out and all your writing's gone. Don't let that happen to you. Now, I was alluding earlier about how cool that soil felt when I was pushing those zinnia seeds in. Did you know that the mass of soil is 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the air temperature? So if your house is 70, then that soil is probably 55 degrees or cooler. What do seeds germinate best at? 75 to 85 degrees as a general reference. So that is a common cause of why seeds don't germinate. And so this, my friends, is the seedling heat mat. Has a built-in thermostat, which is triggered and follows the air temperature. It warms up 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the air temperature to compensate for that. Your seeds will germinate quicker and more uniform. So the heat mat is $39.95. It'll hold 4 of those trays. Those 4 trays with 60 blocks each. That means you can start at one time 240 soil blocks. Y'all, soil blocking is the bomb. If you need a bigger commercial heat mat, we have those available over on our big website. Now, y'all, this is my favorite watering can. We finally have it back. It is stainless steel. It holds up to 4 cups of water, and I love it for this long spout and makes it really useful. It has a gentle, there's my little basil seedlings, and so when I water, I basically pour up against the side of the tray, and then that's it. You don't wash the soil away, right? And then we'll wait for that water to be absorbed, and then we're ready to roll. You never leave residual. This is $29.95, and it holds 4 cups of water. That's a quart. We love that one. Now, for houseplant people, if you want a precious little watering can to sit around, not to mention my sis loves using this for bouquets. This is what's called the espresso watering can. It's $31.95. It holds 2 cups of water, and it is also stainless steel. But this is a really sweet one, especially for you houseplant folks. You can just leave it sitting right out where you need it. We love that guy. We're frequently asked, what fertilizer do I use? And this is it, y'all. We've used this liquid, Neptune's Harvest Seaweed Fish, for 2 decades. Use it for my seedlings. I use it out in the garden as a soil drench for a foliar feed. I follow the houseplant instructions on the back for my seedlings. And so it's like 1 tablespoon to a gallon, so this really lasts. It's $18.95. So this time of the year, and we've got all these seedlings going, fungus gnats are a real pest that they just show up. So we take steps to prevent them from happening. We have the fungus gnat fighting set. This includes the little yellow sticky traps, which actually capture the adults that are flying around where your seedlings are. And then these bits, the mosquito bits, which are actually controls fungus gnats also. It's right on here. It's about 4 tablespoons of these bits to a gallon. And then you just let it steep overnight is what I do. And then water the next morning. And this kills the larva that is developing in your moist soil. So this set is $19.95. So this has become one of my favorite things. So I fertilize on Mondays. I do mosquito bits on Wednesdays. And now Fridays is when I drop one of these in my watering can so that on Saturday morning when I water, this is our compost tea bag. This just really provides healthy microbiology into your blocks. And so it's 1 tea bag per gallon of water. Let it steep overnight. And you can use aeration during the steeping process to increase the activity. And then I just rip this open and put it into my garden or into a container. This is top quality compost, right? So there's 12 tea bags in this package and it's $18.95. And I just love being able to do that in a very simple way. So y'all often ask what fertilizer it is that we use here on the farm, and this is it. This is the dry organic fertilizer that we use that has complete instructions on the front. It recommends 3 pounds to 100 square feet, which is 7.5 cups. And that's what we apply this at every crop flip. This is pretty much the only thing we apply to our soil without having a soil test tell us that we need to. So this is a 4-pound bag for $14.95, and you'll find a larger bag of this over on our big website. So you may not even know yet that I am a huge fan of the biodegradable film. This is Bio 360. I've used it for about 12 or 13 years here. It's got to be longer than 12. Anyway, a long time here on my farm. This is made from a corn byproduct. It's dark on one side and light on the other. You make your bed and put this down, and we have videos to show you how to do that, with the side up according to what your afternoon temperatures are. If you're already into heat, going over 80 in the afternoons, you make your bed with the light side up so you don't cook seedlings. If you're still cold or cool, you make in a bed to plant, you put the black side up because that helps just a smidgen to help heat the soil up. So this is available in 3 different lengths, 20, 50, and 100 foot. A 1-pack of the 20 is $10.95. The 50-foot comes in a 1-pack for $24.95 or a 6-pack for $119.95. The 100-foot pieces is a 1-pack of $39.95 or a 3-pack of $110.95. Incredible weed seed suppressing germination. We attribute a lot of the benefit of how we scaled our flower farm to that.
Show them how you poke through.
So this is not like landscape fabric, y'all. You literally, Bobo uses the Bobo poker, which I think we may talk about today or not. You'll find it on our website. And it makes a great hole for you to actually plant into. Now, this is flower support netting, which we recommend supporting just about everything, but we also use it as a planting grid. Literally, after the bed's made, Bobo rolls this out. Each square is 6 inches, and then she can easily gauge where to plant. Now, this comes in, it's all 36 inches wide. There's a 20-foot piece for $11.95 or a 50-foot piece for $21.95. And if you need longer lengths, we have 2 available over on our big website. And y'all, oh gosh, I love this stuff. This is insect netting. This is like almost like a pair of pantyhose. It's kind of stretchy. This is what you can use on hoops, just like a row cover, but you can use it during hot seasons to protect your plants from insects flying in, like the moth that lays the eggs that develop into the caterpillars that eat your buds or eat your food, right? I also install it as a sun cap, and that's on the website, right? I mean, I use it as a sun cap in the summer to shade my gardens, that my seedlings that have just been planted. Totally love this stuff. It's 6.5 feet wide, just like row cover. It comes in a 20-foot piece for $33.95. a 50-foot piece for $82.95 or a 100-foot piece for $159.95. This is it's easier to work with than row cover. It's more durable, and you can use it during the heat season is what I absolutely love that stuff for. So we created the container protection kit. I don't know if you know about how rabbits, squirrels get up in your containers and root around. So we made this great little kit of the grow through, which you install on top of your container about, a few inches above your plants. And then you can drape a piece of the insect netting that comes with it. And then we have our flexi tie that you tie around the container to seal it. And that 100% keeps the squirrels out. So all of these different pieces are $21.95, and you can pretty much buy them all separately here in the app. Now, this is one of the cutest little things that we sell. This is our mini dibber. I mean, I think of it as my index finger. I love using this in containers to root around. We also can poke holes in the bio to plant our soil blocks with. But this is just a super cute this is a great Easter basket present, by the way. The mini dibber is $7.95, and it's just got a lot, especially for container gardening. And if you're a small soil blocking person, you'll find a lot of uses for the mini dibber. And then the dibber has a big brother. This is the bigger one, and look, it has the measurements on here if you're planting bulbs and different things, or if you just need more vigorous. And for rooting around in containers, stuff like this is so very usable. Now this is $14.95, and it comes like this. I hadn't even thought Easter is so late this year, right? So these, y'all hear me. If you worked here on the farm, you know that I use these for everything. This is the little guy and this is the big guy. Together, they're $17.95. You save $2. They have a 2.5 inch and a 4 1/4 inch blade. It's serrated, and I'm telling you, even if you leave it laying outside in the rain, speaking from experience, it is still sharp, y'all. You just can't kill this knife. Love these for a lot of different stuff. You can purchase them separately here inside the app. Now, this is my sis's favorite garden tool. This is the Hori Hori garden knife. You can pry out rocks and roots and all kinds of stuff. I love it for planting the 2-inch block as well as planting bulbs. Stab, pull, drop, stab, pull, drop. It is awesome. It is $46.95, and it does come with this sheath, and we just totally love it. This has been a really popular tool for several years. Master Gardeners actually recommended it to us. And y'all see, I love orange. Have y'all noticed? These are actually my clippers. So this is the shear and pouch kit. We, of course, are going to send you new ones, but I've used the same pouch now for probably almost 20 years. And why do I still have it? Because it has a clip. You don't have to wear a belt. I don't wear a belt most often, y'all. You can clip this on to your pocket, and when you have a pouch on, you just drop the shears, and nobody's allowed to use shears around here unless they have a pouch on their hip. Keeps you from losing them. So you would get new ones, and the kit is $55.95. They're both available separately here inside the app, and this just makes the whole rigmarole of flower farming and gardening so much easier. And so we still have a few of my favorite pruning saw, y'all. This is the Felco. And this little guy is one powerful cutter. The design of the blade cuts on the push and the pull, which makes your work go twice as fast. And I have had the same one for over a decade and a half now, I think it is. Totally love this. The pruning saw has a 6-inch blade, and it's $49.95. We always bring an order in during pruning season. And so when these are gone, they're gone. But we love this little Felco knife. Y'all, sad to say, I'm cold today, but it's going to be tick season soon. We're in tick country here where I am. And this is called a tick key. It's made to go on a keychain, so you always have it with you. It's got a little hole so you can put it in your keychain. It's got the instructions on the back to show you exactly how to pull a tick out with it, and it works. I've done it. When we used to sell these at shows, school nurses and nurses from doctor's office say we use that in our office. It just makes it so much easier, especially for wiggling kids, wiggling husbands, and animals like horses, cats, and dogs. So this is $9.95 and totally love that. So y'all, this is one of the funnest things that we used to sell at shows. This is the weather stick. This little guy is made in Maine. It's made out of balsam wood. And you install it, if my hand is a post, like on your porch, you install it so you're viewing it from inside your home from the side. This stick moves when the weather's gonna be bad. I'm telling you, this stick will move all the way down here when foul weather's coming. This is the funnest thing you will ever give to anybody. They're sure it doesn't work, and then when it does, they can't shut up talking about it. It is $10.95, and you will absolutely be you'll be the hero for anybody that loves watching the weather. So reminder, guys, that if you want to be included in the drawing for the $25 store credit, hit that button and that'll put you in that pool. So my motto about buying seeds is that you always buy the seed for a flower when you meet the flower, because if you don't, you'll never remember it again. And then you file the seed in your seed vault with the appropriate season, cool or warm. And the way that we store seeds is to include a desiccant pack. This absorbs any moisture from humidity, condensation. And you can get a 2-pack of these for $2.95 or a 10-pack for $9.95. And it just makes a really big difference and helps your seeds stay viable longer.
Do you want to do this with the vegetables? Or?
Yeah, okay. I think so. And so, friends, I would just want to, it's seed buying time. I mean, y'all are buying tons of seeds, right? And I just want you to know that here on my farm, I no longer sit on bulk seed here on the farm. I don't have to. We just send a list up to the warehouse, and I am actually planting the very same seeds that you're buying from us. Literally, that's what we have here for Bobo to plant from. And so I just wanted to share that if you store them properly, you'll be in good shape. And I'm starting the same ones you are. So we're right there experimenting together. So today we're talking about zinnias. And remember, you only start a zinnia a couple, 3 weeks before it's time to plant them outdoors, right? This is the all-time favorite variety of zinnias. It's Benary's Giants. It's the most commercially grown because they're the most prolific, the most double, and the most disease resistant. So this is the mix, but we have all of these colors available separately here in the app and on our website. You'll absolutely love Benary's Giants. I mean, we've been around the block with all kinds of others. There's nothing else like them. And here's one of the colors. This is a great one to plant early, right? The white, and I like to cut it while it's still green in the center. Really, really beautiful. And then another great color. This is that Carmine Rose? They changed the name. It used to be Carmine Rose. Now it's just called Carmine. This is the color of like the inside of a watermelon. This is a great early season zinnia to have because, we plant zinnias, succession plant them, which you'll learn all about in the Cut Flower Handbook. And then look at this lime, y'all. Beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous, plus it's great filler. The lime green Benary's is the biggest of the green ones. I think I should just hold them up on it. And then, oh my goodness, this is the ones you'll find on my kitchen table. These are the Oklahoma zinnias. They're only about 1.5 inches. They're smaller, which makes more interest in a bouquet. And our customers love the Oklahoma mix. And then we also pulled out, because of that pink mix seed collection, we have Oklahoma actually in pink also, which this is like the best baby shower flower, right, for little girls. And then look at this zinnia. This is Zowie. And I will tell you that, I don't know why, but the butterflies seem to be attracted to this one more than the others. This is a great one to also plant late in the season, but that is just a really great color. And this, my friends, is not in the Benary's family either. This is Uproar Rose. That's a different series. The seeds are pricier, but they're definitely worth it. It's a fluorescent magenta color. There is no color in Benary's Giants that competes with this. Totally love Uproar Rose. And then for those of us that love cactus zinnias, This is the giant cactus mix. So I love this one because of the colors that are in this mix. There's like an ivory color that's really, really beautiful. And so what's a cactus zinnia has frilly petals. Some people like it, some don't, but you don't know till you try them. And we grow them every year. And then because, you know, orange is my favorite color, we also offer the cactus zinnia in the Inca series. And this is all oranges. There's light and dark colors. Just really, really love that. And, you know, who can grow zinnias and not include the Queen series, y'all? I can't wait for us to have all these flowers to show you, right? So this is the mix. The Queen Lime mix has all of these different colors, which I'm going to show you a couple of them. This is I call it like it's a Victorian color scheme. It's really in now. These are great for fall, but you can use them throughout the season. They're smaller than Veneris Giants, but this is my favorite one. This is called Lime Blotch. It's like lime green with a pink button in the middle and a little blush of pink. This is really, really beautiful. People love that one. And then, of course, the Queen Lime Red is really a great color to use. And again, all of these are doubles, but they just aren't as big as Veneris Giants, and they're a different color family, right? Then look at this. This is the Lime Orange. So this is like orange mixed with the lime actual blush on it. Really, really love that one. So I want to show you some of the warm season vegetables that we're going to be starting here on the farm. But before I do that, I wanted to show you, this is the most brilliant vegetable planner. This little thing is $5.95, y'all. This is the best thing you could get or to give, and it comes with some paper instructions. My recommendation, before you even start looking at it, is to read the instructions. It's one page, front and back, and then study this guide. You will not believe what this all tells. I'm trying to make it, it's different on both sides. No wonder I'm freaking out looking in here. Okay, so it's a slide, right? And you move the frost line, which is right here. This is the fall side. You move it to your first fall frost, and it tells you everything, when you can start it, when do you have to plant it by. This is like a beginner's and even seasoned gardener's guide to when to plant everything. There is so much information, and it's $5.95. Best thing you've ever, so easy. Once you embrace what's really on there, it's loaded. So I don't know if y'all know it, but this is the most delicious tomato I have ever eaten. This is Cherokee Purple, which is an heirloom, which means it may fall to disease some years, but we grow one every year just to get it. It's kind of purple. Y'all, it is the most, it's low acid, I believe, is what makes it so sweet and tasty. Really love that one. And my husband asks that we grow multiple sun golds because he grabs these as he's mowing the grass. These are like little sugar pops. They're cherry tomatoes, but they're yellow. If you're trying to introduce your kid to vegetables, this is the one. Very prolific, and they are absolutely delicious. I mean, we eat them. We put bags of them in our lunches to have as a snack. And then this is the go-to. This is the tomato that I grow for canning, cooking, sandwiches, everything. This is big beef. This is my favorite. It's the most disease resistant for us here where I am. Absolutely loved it. And it's a one slice sandwich tomato. It is absolutely amazing. And then this is the San Marziano. I'm sure I'm killing that, but these are a paste tomato. These are really great if you're cooking like paste, salsa or sauces. But it's also great for shish kebab and cooking on the grill because they don't have a lot of juice, right? So totally love those. And then this is my husband's very favorite jalapeno. This is Jedi. And he eats these all season, and then I pickle them. And so this is a really uniform, tasty, nice jalapeno. And this is a really long, sweet pepper, right? This is Carmen, and we absolutely love. This is great for grilling. Just a lot of uses for this girl, and love it. And then, of course, the bell peppers now. If you pick them early, they'll be green, but if you leave them, they get red. And this is Olympus. And it's just a really great disease-resistant variety. And then, friends, guess what? Our rooster peppers. So rooster peppers are edible. They're super hot. They're chili pepper. But it's also the best cut flower ornamental pepper that you'll have. This is the wreath I made with my Flower Farmer Club. And you will absolutely love these peppers. We had that seed specially grown for us. So that's a limited supply. If you want it, get it while you can. This is the cucumber that we have learned. I have a flower farming friend that also is a huge vegetable grower. I mean, like big time vegetable grower. What's her go-to cucumber? Market More, y'all. That's it. Most disease resistant, prolific, and just really delicious. And then of course we have zucchini. I mean, zucchini is really, really useful. And they call it the green machine. It is that prolific. And we absolutely love zucchini around here for roasting. Tucker eats them. We just really love them. And so they're super easy. Squash in the 2-inch block is like 2 weeks. You start it and you should be planting it in 2 weeks. So it's way too early for most of us to actually start that. All right, friends, it's time to wrap it up. Remember to stick around to the very end for the Q&A if you'd like. And I want to remind everybody that we have so many free resources over on our website, thegardenersworkshop.com. There's videos, our blog is over there, and our 2 podcasts. We have Field and Garden that I host, as well as Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane. Yesterday's Seed Talk that dropped was Harvesting Poppies as Cut Flowers. So I really love talking about that one. And remember, friends, that the Gardener's Workshop hosts Ask a Flower Farmer on Wednesdays in Instagram at 12:30. Sign on to our handle, Gardener's Workshop Farm. And sometimes it's me, and then sometimes it's some of my peers. But we spend about 30 minutes trying to answer your questions. And remember to meet us back here next week, same time, same place. And next week, the theme is St. Patrick's Day, all things green, and easy flower arranging with Suze. That's my sister, Suzanne. She's like the bouquet whisperer around here. And so, friends, it is time to draw our lucky winner, and I hope you're here. And y'all are always here. It just amazes us every single time. So, drum roll, please. The winner is Tina Harmon. Tina Harmon, are you here? Harman. Tina, if you're here, give us a shout out in the comments, and the girls will then drop a $25 gift certificate right into your card. All right, congratulations, and thank you for participating. We love that. All right, so some questions. How many seeds come in these packages? It all varies. So we tell you, Oh, Tina, congratulations. Thank you for sticking around. And so the girls will be dropping that $25 right into your cart. So happy shopping with the $25 store credit. Thank you so much for participating. So the number of seeds and seed packets vary from every variety. I mean, it's all based on how much we pay for the seeds, right? So you have to read in the details. It'll actually tell you that information, how many are in there. Are any of the seed packages to be sown directly in the garden? What a great question. There are some seeds that can be direct sown out in the garden, and we tell you right on the seed packet. We usually list the way that I prefer first, because it might say something like start indoors or cast out in the garden. That means that I started indoors. We list the first one first, but we tell you that right on the instructions. Zinnia question, do you need to cover them? Is direct sowing not recommended? If you have uncoated seeds, which end is planted up? So these are all great questions. So do you need to cover them? Do you mean to cover them with soil? If you're direct sowing them out in the garden, yes, you would cover them with 1/4 to 1/2 inch of soil. And so we don't direct sow out in the garden. It is less work and more successful when we plant transplants. You have to keep the weeds at bay during that 2 to 3 weeks of your zinnia seed popping and growing up, right? So your seeds have to compete with all the weed seeds. So while there's a lot of people that do that, we just find it's more successful if we plant transplants. And so it doesn't matter whether they're coated or not. When in soil blocks, you can really put either end poked in. It's just easier to poke the seed in with the pointy end. Let's see. This is a common question. I'll be going away for a week soon. Other than asking someone to come water my soil blocks, is there any tips of what I could do? I have a great one. Take them with you. You just don't even know how many people show up here to our farm, like for our open farm once a year, and they'll say, I have my soil blocks out in the car. I couldn't get anybody to watch them. Somebody has to water them every day and keep their eyeball on them. So no, I don't have any other options other than taking it with you. Do you use quick dip on Cerinthy? I've read that you need to put the stems in boiling water for a few seconds. I don't ever do any of those special steps. We can't. On a flower farm, you don't have time to do that stuff. And so you can certainly quick dip Cerinthy if you need to. But, you know, one of the things that I teach in flower farming school and also in the cut flower handbook is proper stripping of stems. Most people leave too much stuff, which leads to wilting, which leads to hydrating problems. When they're stripped properly, cut at the right time of day, you don't need to do that, but you certainly can. Sunflower seeds, pointy end down or up, it doesn't matter, because when I push, I cover sunflower seeds in the small block with a little dollop of soil, so either way, it doesn't really matter. So one more here. What do you cover your new transplants? How do you cover with your new transplants with floating row cover? We need 2 pieces to cover our hoops, and we're having a hard time figuring out a way to keep the 2 pieces joined at the top of the hoops. Yeah, you need another piece of row cover. Hoops, if they're 30 or 36 inch hoops, the 6.5 foot wide row cover fabric that we sell is enough to go on top, and then you weight it down on the sides. Yeah, if there's any crack for wind to get in, like on the top somewhere, which you're speaking of, it'll just pull the covers right off. So it needs to be one solid piece in my experience. So friends, thanks for joining me. Remember, tonight's the last opportunity to enroll in Flower Farming School and get the invite to the Flower Farmer Fast Track, which is my quick start guide to getting your flower farm started and up and going and doing the job right. All right, friends. I appreciate you joining.